If you are a hip hop junkie such as myself, then the following date should be forever etched in your brain. August 11th, 1973. August 11th, 1973. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Muff. If you are rocking with this content, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. But today, I'm going to hit y'all with my thoughts on this new EP from Swizz Beatz entitled Hip Hop 50 Volume 2. So this is the follow-up to DJ Premier's Hip Hop 50 Volume 1, which dropped last year, and it is the second installment of a series of EPs from Mass Appeal set to honor hip-hop turning 50 years old when August 11th. Now, last year's Primo project was solid, but slightly underwhelming, all things considered. However, there were like 3 to 4 songs that I ended up revisiting more than I initially expected. But Volume 2 is produced entirely by the legendary Swizz Beatz, who I feel is a top 20 hip-hop producer of all time if we are talking about impact and producers having that trademark sound. Now, to keep it a buck, Swizz Beatz will not be in my personal top 10 hip-hop producers, but I gotta give the man his flowers for his run and his contributions to the culture, although I do understand that some hip-hop heads, they just don't care for Swizz Beatz' vibe sonically. But getting right into Hip Hop 50 Volume 2, it contains just 6 songs lasting approximately 19 minutes. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. The opener, Runaway, with Nas, is a hard-hitting banger. We get a loud and slightly obnoxious vocal sample and these punchy keys. Altogether, it is a busier instrumental for Nas, but somehow it works. It's something different from what we've heard Nas rap over recently for sure. And here Nas is continuing to rap with this hunger and this urgency. He's taking you back to his days in the Queensbridge houses in the late 80s where some of the killers, rats, and crackheads would dwell. The type of cats that don't have much to lose, as Nas points out. These clowns thirsty to squeeze round. But on the second verse, he actually admits to not being the best father to Destiny. Probably was a bad father to my firstborn, love her to death, but I ain't been home since my first song, so you gotta respect that transparency. As a whole, this Nas and Swizz collab was more up-tempo and more attention-grabbing than, let's say, their song Echo, even though Echo was a great song. And I already know some heads aren't gonna like hearing Nas over this style of beat, or they just aren't gonna like this Swizz instrumental in general. But I actually dug it, and I view it as a banger to set off this project. Track 2, This Shit Right Here with Lil Wayne, initially was supposed to include a Hov verse, but instead we just got a sample of Hov's voice, which will likely infuriate the folks who wanted to get a new verse from Hov. But this track is a high energy, horn-backed banger. Like, it's the opposite of sleepy production. You know, this beat forces you to get up, hit the weights, or do some cardio. That being said, I wasn't necessarily blown away by Wayne's performances. I thought his verses were all right, but he didn't even go as hard as he did on the track with Slick Rick from Primo's Volume 1 project. Still, I'd say it's a cool song that I return to when I'm working out. Track 3, Take 'Em Out, features Jadakiss, Benny the Butcher, and up-and-coming female MC Scarlip. Here we get both an Onyx and a DMX vocal sample and those signature Swizz drums. This one just feels like a New York mixtape anthem, and it was obvious that Swizz wanted to restore that old New York feel with this record. The energy here is great as well, as it's that fresh pair of butters, crisp white tee, and Yankee fitted music. I thought Jada had the best verse out all 3. Been quiet, ain't nobody really dropping. A couple of funerals will get the city back popping. And 9 on the dope will get the city back hopping. If you see me in the club, I got the pretty black lock-in. Just real sinister lines from Kiss. Benny the Butcher, on the other hand, just had a cool verse, in my opinion. It was a little brief, but I did like when he said, "From Buffalo where the hammers and bullets is cheap and the beef don't ever rest until you put it to sleep." As far as Scarlip, I gotta admit, I'd have to do the knowledge on her, other than I know she's from the Bronx and she's got a little buzz right now. I wasn't necessarily crazy about her verse, but I did like her bold delivery, and she seems like she's got some potential, so I hope this young lady can win. So I found the first 3 songs to be dope, but then the project goes a little downhill for me. Track 4, City Sound Like, features Fabio Foreign and Bandman Real, and it's Swizz Beatz going into his New York drill bag. And I already know some heads aren't gonna want drill music to be a part of a hip hop at 50 project, but let's not act like drill music has not been resonating with the youth for years now. However, with that being said, I wasn't too big on this particular song, although I did actually like this Swizz instrumental. I thought it was fire. It's vintage Swizz with a slight modern twist. But yeah, Fabio Foreign's verse was just mid for me. I did like the beat, but realistically, I can't see myself revisiting this track. Song 5, Say Less, features Lil Durk and A Boogie, and it has a hostile cinematic beat. Lil Durk has the doper verse easily, and I like when he is auto-tune free and straight rapping, no auto-tune Durk. Durk states, I ain't squashing shit. Jay-Z can tell me, do it. I'ma tell him no. OGs get on blogs, act like they killers. Most of them dudes hoes. Damn, so it sounds like the youngins aren't trying to hear what the OGs are talking, even if it's coming from someone like Hove. And that's scary when even Hove doesn't have the pull. But yeah, I only like Lil Durk's portion of this song, as I don't care for A Boogie's auto-crooning, and I came to the realization a while back that A Boogie's music just isn't meant for my ears. Then this project winds down with Kalas featuring Jay Electronica. This has some laid-back, sample-based production that's basically drumless. Jay Electricity had one verse which was cool, followed up by some words from Swizz, but Jay Electronica was talking his talk on the lines, I did an album with Hove, lames let all their hate vent, so I fell back 3 years like go ahead, be great then. Altogether, I found it to be just an okay track that could have benefited from a feature, or at least had 2 verses from Jay Electronica. So overall, I'm gonna give this project a rating of 3 mics. Now, the first 3 songs were dope, but the remaining 3 I had some issues with. Either I liked the instrumental and I didn't like the features, or vice versa. But I did like how the bulk of this project was higher energy and more aggressive, and that's something that has been missing from some albums lately, just across the board. Still, I don't consider this to be as strong as Primo's Volume 1 EP, but there are some tracks that you can add to a gym playlist for sure. Now, I'm not sure who is scheduled to produce Volume 3, but I would suspect that it would have to be dropping relatively soon, since we're already in late April. My favorite tracks include Runaway, this shit right here, and Take 'Em Out. Let me know what you thought about this project in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Muff. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. As always, it's peace and blessings. Swizz Beatz, Hip Hop 50 Volume 2, 1.